When we talk about AI, the real holy grail isn't just about teaching a machine something. It's about building one that can teach itself forever. So, what if an AI could just keep getting smarter on its own without us? A really cool new research paper has a framework that might just get us there. Let's dive in.
And that really is the central question, isn't it? It's the big one driving so much research. How in the world do you build an artificial intelligence that can learn continuously, on its own, without ever hitting a wall? It's a massive challenge, and here's exactly why.
Because for most AI systems today, this is the reality. You feed them a gigantic data set, they learn from it, and they get incredibly good. But once they've squeezed all the knowledge out of that initial data, their improvement slows down and then it just stops. They hit that learning plateau.
But a new framework from a recent paper offers a really clever way to get around this problem. It's called SPICE, and it's designed specifically for sustained self-improvement.
So, SPI stands for Self-Play in Corpus Environments, and that name actually gives you the two secret ingredients right there. First, self-play, which is exactly what it sounds like. The AI plays against itself. And second, corpus environments, which just means it uses a huge library of real-world documents as its playground.
And here's the part that's so cool. We're not talking about two different AIs here. This is one single model that basically splits its personality into two different roles, and these roles push each other to get better and better.
Okay, so how does this actually work? Well, the AI basically becomes its own training partner. And I think the best way to wrap your head around it is with a simple analogy. Just imagine a top-tier athlete who's obsessed with improving. They can't just run the same old drills every day. They need a super creative personal trainer who's constantly inventing new, tougher exercises to push them to their absolute limit. Well, in the SPICE framework, the AI plays both roles. So here's how it splits its personality. On one side, you have the challenger. That's our personal trainer. Its job is to go digging through this massive library of documents and cook up brand new, really difficult tasks. And on the other side, you have the reasoner. That's our athlete. Its only job is to try and solve these increasingly tricky problems the challenger throws at it. And this sets up this really powerful, virtuous cycle. The challenger finds a tough problem. The reasoner tries to solve it, and here's the key. Whether it gets it right or wrong, both sides of the AI learn from that interaction. The challenger learns how to make even better, harder problems, and the reasoner gets better at solving them. The researchers call this an automatic curriculum because it's always perfectly tuned to push the AI right to the edge of its abilities.
Now, you might be thinking, hey, AI playing against itself? That doesn't sound totally new. And you'd be right. So what makes SPICE so different? What's the secret sauce here?
Well, the answer comes down to one absolutely crucial concept that the paper calls corpus grounding. And this, right here, is the real game changer. Okay, so here's the difference. A lot of older self-play methods were ungrounded. That means the AI had to invent new challenges using only its own internal knowledge. And eventually, it just starts recycling old ideas. But SPICE is grounded in this huge external library of documents. This gives the challenger a practically infinite well of complex, diverse, real-world information to pull from to create truly new problems. The paper puts it perfectly. This corpus grounding provides a rich, near-inexhaustible external signal necessary for sustained improvement. In other words, it's the fuel. It's what allows the self-improvement engine to just keep running and running without ever stalling out. So this all sounds amazing in theory. An automatic curriculum, infinite new problems. But the real question is, does it actually work? Does it make the AI smarter? Let's look at the results. And the short answer is a big, emphatic yes. The researchers tested this on several models, and they found that SPICE delivered some really significant and consistent boosts in performance across different kinds of reasoning. And the numbers, they're pretty impressive. For example, on really complex mathematical reasoning tasks, the models trained with SPICE showed an average improvement of almost 9%. Now that is a solid jump, but it actually gets better. The gains were even bigger when they tested general reasoning. Performance there shot up by almost 10%. And just to be clear, in the world of AI development, these are huge leaps forward. This isn't some tiny little tweak. This is a major upgrade in the AI's capability. And the payoff is just so clear right here. you can see these substantial jumps in performance for both mathematical and general reasoning. This is real evidence that this whole method of grounded self-play is incredibly effective. This is about building a foundation for AIs that can keep adapting and tackling harder and harder problems over time.
All right, so let's just quickly recap the big takeaways here. SPICE uses this really clever challenger and reasoner dynamic, like a trainer and an athlete. The key is that it's grounded in a huge library of real documents, so it never runs out of new things to learn. This whole process creates an automatic, always getting harder curriculum. And the result? It's the thing everyone's been chasing: sustained, measurable self-improvement.
And all of this leaves us with a pretty deep final thought. I mean, if an AI has access to a practically infinite source of knowledge, and it can create its own unlimited curriculum to learn from it, what, if anything, is the limit to what it can learn?